My name's Kayla. I'm 18 years old, and on the night of June 23rd in Las Vegas, Nevada, I died. Vegas is painted up like paradise. Bright lights, casinos buzzing, music shaking the sidewalks, people walking around drunk and laughing like they don't have a single care in the world. But for me, those same streets felt like prison bars. I didn't grow up with much. My mom worked 2 jobs, sometimes disappeared for days, and when she was home, she was usually asleep or yelling. My dad left before I even knew what the word dad really meant. I can still remember asking about him when I was little and my mom just brushing me off like he never existed. That kind of thing stays with you. By the time I was 15, I was already running the streets. I met this older guy who made me feel like I mattered. He bought me food, gave me clothes, told me I was pretty. For a girl who grew up feeling invisible, that felt like love. But it wasn't love. It was a trap. Before long, he became my pimp. I didn't call him that then. I called him my boyfriend, or just him. But the truth is, I wasn't his girlfriend. I was his property. He decided where I went, who I met, what I wore, even how I smiled. And I listened, because I was scared of him. By 18, my life was motel rooms and strangers, men twice my age. Sometimes they were kind, sometimes they were rough, but it all felt the same, empty. I'd put on makeup like armor, smile like it didn't bother me, but at night, when I was alone, I would cry. I remember lying on thin motel sheets staring at a cracked ceiling, whispering, "God, if you're real, please get me out of this." But nothing ever changed, at least not then. That night started like any other. Neon lights from the strip glowed through the dirty curtains of the motel room. I was with a man who had been drinking too much, and the smell of alcohol was heavy in the air. My stomach turned, but I was used to pretending. I remember standing up, trying to keep calm, when suddenly my chest squeezed tight, like someone reached into me and started crushing my heart with their hand. My vision blurred, the room started spinning, and my knees gave out. I tried to say something, maybe call for help, but my throat locked up. I couldn't breathe. Panic shot through me. I clawed at the carpet, trying to crawl, but my body wouldn't move right. The man started cussing, yelling at me like I was ruining his night. His voice sounded far away, like echoes underwater. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding louder and louder. Then nothing. And my last thought before everything went black was, I can't die like this. Not here. Not like this. The next thing I knew, I wasn't in my body anymore. I was floating above the scene, looking down at myself. My skin was pale, my lips turning blue, my eyes halfway open but lifeless. The man was pacing, pulling at his hair, and then the door slammed open. My pimp stormed in, his face twisted in anger. He shook my body, slapped me, cursed at me like it was my fault for dying. I should have been terrified, but I wasn't. I just stared, thinking, that's me. That's really me. But I'm not in there anymore. And then I felt it. A pull. Like a current, drawing me upward. Not scary, not cold, but strong and steady. And then came the light. Not like the yellow motel lamp or the flashing neon outside. This light was alive. It wrapped around me like warmth, and all I wanted to do was follow it. The light grew brighter until I was standing in a place that didn't even feel like Earth. Everything was glowing, pure, peaceful. The air itself felt like love. And then, I saw him. Jesus. I froze. My whole being shook, not out of fear, but because I knew exactly who he was the second I saw him. His eyes locked onto mine, and they weren't angry, they weren't disgusted. They were love, pure, unshakable love. He said my name. Kayla. I broke. I dropped to my knees and started sobbing. I don't deserve to be here. I'm dirty. I sold myself. I'm nothing. But he knelt down, lifted me up with his hand, and when his skin touched mine, it felt like fire and peace all at once. He said, "You were never meant to be sold. You've always been mine. I saw every night you cried, every prayer you whispered when you thought no one heard. I was right there." I screamed into his chest, shaking. I had never ever felt love like that. Then he showed me my life. It was like watching a movie, but I could feel everything all over again. I saw myself as a little kid, running through sprinklers in the summer, laughing with no care in the world. Then I saw my mom screaming at me, telling me I was worthless. I saw the fights, the nights I cried myself to sleep. I saw the moment I ran away. The first night I put on makeup, thinking maybe it would make me worth something. The first time I let a man touch me because I thought I didn't matter otherwise. And then, I saw all the motel rooms, the streets, the way I shut down inside just to survive. But here's the part that undid me. I saw Jesus there, in every scene, in the corner of those rooms, sitting with me while I cried, watching over me while I pretended to be strong. He said, "Kayla, I never left you. Even when you thought I was silent, I was right there with you." I dropped to the ground again, crying harder than I ever had in my life. Then, his face grew serious. "There are things you must see." First, I saw whole cities filled with people chained. Not metal chains, chains of lust, addiction, pornography, trafficking. Men and women scrolling on their phones with empty eyes. Girls like me, trapped in cycles. Boys consumed by screens and lies. He said, "This is the trap of your generation, counterfeit love." Then I saw America shaking, buildings falling, lights going out, screams filling the air. I saw Vegas, the casinos collapsing, the strip dark, people running in panic, earthquakes, floods, fires in different places. He said, "Everything not built on me will fall." But then the vision changed. I saw girls like me, standing in rooms that once held pain, but they were glowing with light. Their voices were strong, their eyes fierce, carrying fire. He said, "The ones the world rejected are the ones I will use. The ones nobody wanted are the ones who will carry my fire." The visions came like waves, and I wept through them all. I looked at him and begged, "Please don't send me back. I don't want to go back to that life. I just want to stay here with you." He touched my face, his eyes full of love. "Kayla, one day you'll stay with me forever. But not yet. There are girls still trapped, just like you. They need to know I am real, and they need to hear it from you." I shook my head. "I'm not strong enough." He placed his hand over my heart. A rush of power, like lightning and peace mixed together, flooded me. "You won't go back alone. My spirit will go with you." And then, everything faded. I woke up gasping in a hospital bed, lights blinding me, machines beeping, doctors shouting, "She's back, we got her." My chest burned like fire, my throat was raw, but I was alive. I heard one nurse whisper, "She was gone for over 15 minutes. No brain damage. This doesn't make sense." And all I could croak out was, "I saw him." I never went back to the streets. My pimp tried to threaten me, but something inside me had changed. I wasn't afraid anymore. I started sharing my story. In shelters, with churches, with girls I met who were still trapped. I would look them in the eye and say, If he could love me, an 18-year-old prostitute in Las Vegas, then he can love you. Now, I live different. I pray with urgency. I walk the streets of Vegas not as a victim, but as someone carrying light. I can see the pain in people's eyes because I've been there. And I know time is short. I know what's coming. But I also know revival is coming. And it's going to come through the broken ones. The ones nobody wanted. Because I am Kayla. I died in Las Vegas. I met Jesus. And he sent me back to tell you. He's real. He's coming. And he hasn't forgotten you.